Hello, ineffable being. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful, magical day. I want to tell you that you are a genius. You are important. You are special. And you are loved. Today we're going to discuss love. I want to share with you this topic, how to understand love, what is it, how to create love, stand alone without love, still loving yourself, be free of the world, but still have and be totally involved with it. And the great thing about this topic is that something in my life just happened or has been happening. It's now to an end, but that really validated the belief system that I had. So we're going to get into it, but how do we understand love? Please show me, what does love mean to you? What is love? What does it mean to love someone? And we're talking in general terms. Not just in bed. We're talking about love. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, or just really anybody. What does love mean to you? Well, I gotta keep myself honest, right? If you've been listening, I make a video every single day, and I talk about living through the heart. And part of this is love. And like Gary Vee once said, I want to be historically correct. So what I say today, it should still hold merit. It should still be true in the 100 years. That's my lifestyle. So let's go back. I made a very similar video about love. But if not all of my episodes are about love, then this one more so. And there was a video actually called "The Basis of Human Life is Chemical." Wonderful video. Watch it, understand that the basis of human life is chemical. So, understanding this, well, let me break it down. If you are feeling happy, we can look at your chemistry. It will be in a certain way. If we look at your chemistry whenever you're feeling anxious, it will be in a certain way. It will be in a different way when you're mad, when you're stressed, when you're in fear, when you're in ecstatic states of being. All of these different states of being have a different chemical expression. So the basis of human life is chemical. So I share this with you because we can accept easily that love is probably the ultimate level of emotion towards anything, person, correct? So we can say that at what point do these chemicals inside of me become love? Because we have to accept what love is. Love is a chemical. We call it oxytocin. So at what point of you getting to know someone does your chemistry transmute from just basic chemicals into oxytocin, into love? And quickly, your body sends chemicals. Your body is a chemical instrument. It sends these constantly. Your brain picks these up, translates them into electrical signals, and we call them thoughts. I'm sure all of us, especially by the time you're 20, more so 30, in high school, you've had a couple of relationships. And I just remember myself being like, every new relationship, my biggest thing was like, well, how fast am I going to believe I love this person? Like, is it going to take 6 months? Is it going to take one week? Like, that was just my internal game. Like, oh, I wonder how fast I'm going to hear that I love this person. So there, we just touched on a very important point. I hear the thought, I love this person. And from there, what do we do? What do we do now that I believe my unconscious is telling me that I love X person? So again, I have to stay historically correct. In the past, I've said my definition of love is something I built a little bit of Sadhguru, a little bit of Teal Swan, and a lot of myself and, my exploration into a whole bunch of different sciences and personal development. So my definition still stands the same. My definition of love is taking someone as part of me. So love means that I'm not going to, argue with this person because I'm not going to argue with myself. I'm not going to harm this person, manipulate this person, bring worry and stress to this person because I'm not going to do it to myself. Now also, this is where we get kind of hard. This is where we get a little bit complicated. Sometimes we begin to lose ourselves. Because let's say this person just wants to go in a different route. I love this person. You know what? I'm not going to hold them here. I'm not going to now characterize myself or personify characteristics of myself that I was not previously. Like, manipulation is a very big way. Or create, situations in lieu for this person to feel like they need me or that they must stay. All of these things. So love is very amazing and it's so easy. Let me digress. Love is so amazing and it's so easy to treat that person as part of you when everything is lollipops and rainbows. But the moment that this person begins to do things that probably you don't really like because they are a full-fledged life independent of you. Well, now you ask yourself, because you didn't articulate inside your brain, I love this person. And as we will discuss, you probably don't have a definition of love, nor did you consciously make the decision, but everything's good for some time, and then they start showing some weird things that just don't really resonate with you. And now you respond with things that you do things to them that you know that they don't like. Well, what happened to the love? What happened to the magic? What happened to the ineffability in this relationship? So it's all fine and dandy until, in the worst case scenario, when this person wants to leave or wants something different than what you want. Because then we do things that are out of character for love, don't we? So, how to understand love? The first thing is set a definition of love. And I'm not saying you have to take my definition. My definition for very many of us might be dramatic. Oh my God, take someone as part of me? So I have to be unconditional with my happiness, with all of these things to them? This is what you're telling me? Well, hey, get to know me better. But in essence, that is my definition. I don't have to think about, what I speak if I'm racist, or I don't have to think about global warming or throwing food in the trash in the street, what I should say. Why? Because I love life. So I look everything, whenever I open my eyes and I see the world, I look at a reflection of myself and something that's much greater than myself. But I do know that I love myself. I treat myself good. I treat myself with kindness, with respect. I take care of my body. That translates into the world, the environment. I do what I can. I'm a raw vegan. I don't throw stuff on the street. It's not a matter of should I throw this in the street or not? Or should I treat this person in this way or not? No. Not whenever you have a definition built inside of yourself of what love is, of what you are, of what you stand for. But today we're talking about love. So love is the highest chemical that there is, that the human being kind of knows in response to how much affection we have towards someone. So build a definition. My definition of love is taking someone as part of me. Love means unconditional love. That means regardless if they want me or not, hey, if I love you, hey, goodbye. That's what you want. You don't want to be here, okay. I'm not going to manipulate you. I'm not going to try to hold you down. I'm not going to, stalk you. I'm not going to go to your job and make a scene. Hey, I love you. And that's what you want. Then I'm going to have to let you go. But that's my definition. After you have found your definition, and look around, find some mentors. But look, someone that resonates with you, one, but perhaps that they live a life that seems like there's love and there's light in their life. Don't just listen, don't go to the street and ask a random person just because they're old. And excuse me to, older people, I love you all, but some people, they have miserable lives. They're just together just because they can't separate because their parents are going to say something or their church is going to say something or for the financial reasons. But so be very careful. And the best way to find your definition of love is turn inwards. And it's not that complicated. These are chemicals. These are things You know what chemicals are? Like, think about a glass of water, and you're getting to know someone, right? And then water is transparent naturally. At some point, this water is going to turn a color of love. Let's make it yellow or red or any color, but it's going to change. So that's these chemicals transmuting, getting into a bigger level, and now you love someone. So, what is your definition of love? Second is create the decision to love this person. You have to articulate in your brain, I'm going to love you. They don't have to know it, but you have to know it because you know your definition. So then you decide, I'm going to love this person, or I love this person. Why is this so important? Because if you don't plant the idea inside yourself, it's so easy. Your unconscious is going to see them ugly one day. Your partner might wake up from the wrong side of the bed. Something horrible happens. They go through a week of depression. Who knows what happens? But if you haven't articulated in your brain that you love them based on your definition of love, then it's going to be so easy for your unconscious to be like, you know what? I don't really like this person no more. Like, what is it called? I'm thinking in Spanish right now. They don't drop the, they don't lower the seat on the toilet. You know what I'm saying? And like, now I'm upset. So now I'm going to like scream at them. Or whatever case scenario might be in your world. But make the decision. Have your definition and then love them. Unconditional based on your definition. And then the rest of what you have to do is live out that decision. You have to live by it. And the hardest part is when they don't do things that you like. And the most hard is when they leave you. But this should be the easiest. This should be the most easy. If you believed you love someone, and if you adopt my definition, I'm loving someone right now, right? And I'm giving them 100%, because I see them as part of me, as my arm, as an extension of me. So I'm gonna love them and give them everything they want, and give them space and give them whatever it is that they need to live and become their greatest version. And let's say they turn one day and say, hey, you know what? I have to go. Can't do this no more. Well, I love you. You know what? It's gonna break your heart, sure, but not too much, because you know that your refractory period of this breakup is going to be so ineffable. It's going to be so kind. Your life is going to treat you so well because you're so mature. You're just going to let them go. Doesn't mean that you didn't love them. They might come back to you because they don't know what love is, because they haven't established a definition of love. So they're going to go for 6 months. And you're going to see them on social media doing all of these things. And you're working on yourself. And you're becoming your best version. And they're going to call you one day, drunk, or after a breakup, or in an accident, or in some time that they need you. They're going to say, I thought you loved me. Why didn't you fight for me? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you visit me? You never reached out. But you know what? Perhaps now you can see that this person isn't meant for you. Because all they wanted was a reaction out of you. And you gave them what they wanted. They were selfish. They left. They didn't see how much you loved them. They left only worrying about themselves because you're not an extension of their life. But you gave them what they wanted. And whenever they got their reaction, they saw, damn, that was a good man. Or, wow, that woman was amazing. And they need you in their life now because they need that support. They need that unconditional love. And they're going to come back and you're going to be judged. And this isn't just going to be with sexual partners. This is going to be with your family, with your friends. Your friend's going to tell you, dude, I thought we were cool. Why don't you call me? Or I know I was mad the other day, but shit, you should have invited me out or something. It's going to happen. But let people be them. But you know yourself because you have a definition established. You made a decision. And then the rest of you do is don't go into love if you haven't found your core. If your personality is still creating your reality, you're not ready for love. What am I saying here? What does this mean? Your personality creates your reality, or does your reality create your personality? Because what we fail to acknowledge is the facts in life. And what are the facts? The facts are that if I don't exist in my interior as a filter, as my voice, if I don't articulate thoughts, if I don't push my thoughts in the directions that I want, if I don't show the universe, God, the unified quantum field, myself, and all of existence, the emotions that I want to feel day to day, then my reality is creating my personality. Because every situation, with every person, every place, every circumstance, is creating neurological networks in your brain. So literally we can say, if you're not waking up to a vision of the future, then your reality is creating your thoughts and your emotions. And why is this important? Because your thoughts and your emotions make your state of being. And your state of being is what you are. If you apply that job, if you present your idea in the board meeting, if you go and approach the man or the woman that you like, if you go work out whenever you say you're going to work out, if you are in a diet and you complete this diet, or if you don't do any of these things, what is the factor here? Your state of being. So don't go into love if your reality is creating your personality, because you're not ready for that. Because one, you haven't decided to love yourself. Because if your body releases stress hormones when your phone dies, when you don't have Wi-Fi, when you're in traffic, if you get fired, if someone else gets a position that you wanted, if someone leaves you, all of these things that seem common, and we like, yeah, I should be stressed, right? Because like this is a bad thing, so I'm normal, I'm stressed. That's not normal. Think it's normal to be living in survival? Whenever you're stressed, your amygdala in your brain is activated. That's your survival part of the brain. And what we don't realize is that all these little things keep us in stress. So, how are you going to understand life? The umbrella is to know yourself. The umbrella is to create yourself in such a way that independent of the stresses, traumas, accidents of life, you have pleasantness within you. After this, set a definition of love. Then, whenever you're out in the world and your unconscious presents the idea that you love someone, process this information and decide, will I give them my definition of love? And do you see, I'm not saying for 1 week. We're talking about there is no time. So the answer might be, am I ready to give this person my definition of love until death part of the way? What's that very cliche term? Till death comes, or until they leave. Like that should be the only solutions, right? That's it. Till death or until they leave. I mean, I'm thinking like I live love, like I want to love like the rest of my life. I don't want to just love someone for 6 months, right? I mean, that's just me. So again, make your decision, your definition, then decide, and then just wake up every single day and do what you say you're going to do. And remember, if someone leaves you, hey, you are loving them based on your definition. No one's going to judge you. Do you think like a benevolent spirit or malevolent spirit is going to judge you and say, hey, come here, Or do you think like some spiritual teacher is going to be like, oh, you know what, you're bad. If you do, then hey, I mean, watch more of my videos. If you think your parents or your grandparents or your friends are going to be like, ah, dude, like really? No. You're the only person judging you. You're the only judge that should matter. And you know what? You're not going to feel bad if you have made a definition of love and let yourself be wrong. It doesn't matter. Just create a definition. Decide to love the person that your unconscious presents is worthy of your love. And then just live that life. Keep living your definition. And if they leave one day, which is the worst thing, right? Or if they hurt you, well, you love yourself. Remember, you're an ineffable being. You're a genius. So you're going to take care of yourself because it's you first. That has been my message for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, Ineffable Being. Please share this video on your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. Please share down in the comments, did you receive value from this topic? And also, if you did not receive any value from this video, and put it down in the comments, what topics would you like for me to cover in the future? I hope to see you in the side of light. Goodbye.